Pocket fisherman. Imagine catching a bass like this.
For Philips television recorder, you don't have to miss anything.
The Sony Walkman is a tiny stereo.
Decades ago, gadgets reshaped how people lived, worked, and entertained themselves. These once essential tools brought innovation into homes and hands, sparking fascination. Over time, they faded as newer technologies emerged. Now, they offer a glimpse into an era when invention and simplicity went hand in hand, defining a generation's way of life. Join us as we look at 25 gadgets in the 1970s once necessary, now completely useless. The Pong home console, released in 1975, was once the ultimate entertainment device for families in the 1970s. This simple game console brought arcade fun into living rooms. Pong featured a two-dimensional tennis-style game where players controlled paddles to hit a bouncing ball across the screen. It was revolutionary, offering an interactive gaming experience when most homes relied on television for entertainment. Families loved competing in Pong matches, making it a popular bonding activity. Its design was straightforward, with a few knobs and buttons making it easy to use. The console sparked the home video game market.
You're watching the most exciting game you will ever see on your TV set. Telstar by Coleco, with 3 different games.
Proving that games could succeed outside arcades. However, technology advanced quickly. By the 1980s, consoles like the Atari 2600 offered better graphics and more complex games. Pong's charm faded, and the console became outdated. Today, it stands as a nostalgic reminder of gaming's humble beginnings. Mattel's electric football ruled in the late 1970s. This handheld device delighted users with its simple gameplay. Players moved glowing dots representing players and footballs across a tiny LED screen. It was portable, easy to carry, and kept kids entertained on the go.
Dick's got the ball, but that computer defense is tough. He drives up the middle, stopped cold.
1 yard.
Now Dick cuts left, down the sidelines, touchdown.
Its compact design and simplicity were groundbreaking at the time. Sports fans could enjoy quick games anywhere, making it a huge success. It became one of the best-selling gadgets of its time. As the years passed, newer devices like the Game Boy and smartphones took over. Their advanced graphics and gameplay made gadgets like this feel outdated. Today, it's more of a collector's item than something you'd play. Its legacy, though, is a win for early portable gaming. The Commodore PET was among the first personal computers. Released in 1977, it amazed users with its compact, all-in-one design. It combined a monitor, keyboard, and cassette drive in one device, making it unique. It was popular with schools and businesses because it was reliable and easy to use. Its basic programming language also helped beginners learn coding skills. For many, it was their first step into the world of computing. However, competition arrived quickly. Devices like the Apple II and IBM PCs outperformed it in speed and features. As technology improved, the Commodore PET became obsolete. Today, tech enthusiasts praise it for starting the home computer trend. Do you think today's computers are cool? The next gadget started it all, bringing home computing into everyday life. In 1977, the TRS-80 became the first affordable computer for everyday people. Sold at Radio Shack stores, it was easy to find and simple to use. Many hobbyists learned programming with this device, sparking a new wave of home computing. It featured a black and white monitor and a keyboard connected to a cassette player for storage. Practical for small tasks and learning programs, it became a favorite for tech enthusiasts. Though similar to the Commodore PET, the TRS-80 stood out for its wider availability and affordability, making it a top choice for beginners.
The TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use.
But better computers with more memory and colorful graphics soon replaced it. By the 1980s, it couldn't keep up with rising competition. Today, it's remembered as an important milestone in making computers accessible to more people. The Magnavox Odyssey started it all. Released in 1972, it was the first home video game console. Its simple games like table tennis fascinated families. You connected it to a TV and used plastic overlays to create game backgrounds. It was revolutionary at the time. It gave people an interactive experience they hadn't seen before, and families gathered to try this exciting new form of entertainment.
Part of the all-new computer video game Odyssey 2 from Magnavox. Lots of multi-game cartridges.
But it lacked sound, color graphics, and variety. Later consoles like Atari made it look outdated fast. Today, it's a piece of gaming history, marking the start of the home console era. Its influence remains undeniable in today's gaming world. In 1972, the Philips N1500 changed how people viewed television. It was one of the first videotape recorders made for home use. Families could record their favorite TV shows and play them back later, something unheard of. Simple controls and a built-in timer made recording accessible to non-tech-savvy users. Despite its hefty price tag, it gained popularity among early adopters who loved its futuristic feel.
A Philips television recorder, you don't have to miss anything. The Philips television recorder records TV when you can't watch. See,
the ability to rewatch shows or movies on demand was a big leap forward in home entertainment. It was a pioneer that paved the way for the video revolution. However, the arrival of VHS recorders offered cheaper, more practical alternatives. The Philips N1500 couldn't keep up and faded out of homes. Today, it represents the starting point of a technology we now take for granted. Have you ever wondered what made music portable before smartphones? The next gadget lets people take their tunes everywhere. The Soundabout changed how people listen to music in 1979. Known later as the Sony Walkman, it made music portable. This portable cassette player allowed people to enjoy music privately through lightweight headphones. It was compact, easy to carry, and became a trendsetter almost overnight. For its time, it offered freedom.
The music with the Sony Walkman. You really feel the music with the Sony Walkman.
The Sony Walkman is a tiny stereo cassette player.
People could listen to their favorite tracks while jogging, commuting, or relaxing. The device made music personal and mobile, something no earlier gadget could provide. The Soundabout was left behind as CDs, MP3 players, and eventually smartphones came up. Today, it's a nostalgic piece that reminds us of when cassettes ruled. It paved the way for today's portable music devices, shaping how we enjoy music on the move. The Popeye Pocket Fisherman simplified fishing for the average person. Launched in the 1970s, it was foldable, a lightweight fishing rod designed for portability. It promised convenience, fitting easily in cars, picnic baskets, or small storage spaces. Its design targeted casual users who didn't need full-size rods. Many people bought it as a novelty or gift item.
Pocket fisherman. Imagine catching a bass like this. Want to make a boy happy? Give him a pocket fisherman. You don't have to be an expert to catch a beauty like this.
It was marketed as an easy-to-use tool, perfect for spontaneous fishing trips or family fun. Over time, serious anglers preferred stronger, more versatile gear. The pocket fisherman fell out of favor as more advanced equipment became available. Though outdated, it remains a symbol of 1970s practicality and fun-focused marketing. The Centronics 101 dot matrix printer was a lifeline for offices in the 1970s. It used tiny dots to print characters and could handle large printing tasks quickly. Connected to early computers, it allowed small businesses to produce professional-looking documents. Its durability and efficiency made it indispensable for generating invoices, memos, and reports. It set the standard for affordable and reliable office printers. As technology advanced, laser and inkjet printers became the norm. These new printers offered better speed, quality, and quieter operation. The dot matrix printer couldn't compete and was phased out. Today, it's remembered as the workhorse of an earlier digital era. Rotary phones connected the world long before smartphones existed. These devices had a spinning dial, where each number had to be turned manually. It was a slow process, but the phones were reliable. They didn't need electricity, which kept them working during power outages. Their sturdy design made them last for years and came in various colors to match home decor. These phones were essential in homes and businesses, ensuring clear and stable communication. However, Using one meant remembering or writing phone numbers somewhere handy. Families often shared a single line, leading to common phone time battles. Push-button phones and cordless models replaced rotary phones in the 1980s. The quicker dialing and sleek designs made the change inevitable. Now, rotary phones serve as retro decor, reminding memories of a slower, simpler time. Have you ever heard of a music gadget that played entire albums without rewinding? The next item is pure nostalgia for music lovers. 8-track tapes were revolutionary in their time, making music portable and convenient. Popular in the 1960s and 70s, they brought entire albums into cars and homes. Unlike vinyl records, these tapes allowed continuous play without flipping sides. Music lovers were offered a new level of freedom. Their chunky design fit snugly into special players, making them a favorite among young listeners.
8-track tapes. I think this old radio still works.
Driving with an 8-track player blasting your favorite tunes felt modern and exciting, and many saw it as the future of music. However, cassettes emerged with better sound quality and a smaller, more practical design. They eventually displaced 8 tracks from the spotlight. Today, cassettes are a rare collector's item, cherished for their connection to a specific era in music history. Rabbit ears were once necessary for enjoying television at home. These metal antennas sat on top of TVs and captured over-the-air broadcasts. Adjusting them involved trial and error to get a clear picture, and families spent time tweaking the antenna's position to avoid static-filled screens. During the 1960s and 70s, rabbit ears brought a few channels into homes, offering news, sports, and entertainment. Their affordability made them accessible to many households, making television a shared family experience. With the arrival of cable and satellite TV, rabbit ears became less useful. They couldn't compete with the clear images and larger channel selections offered by new technologies, and modern streaming services sealed their fate. Fast forward to today, and rabbit ears are quirky reminders of an era when watching TV required effort and patience. If you've ever wondered what it was like to capture memories before smartphones, the next item will surprise you. It's a classic tool your parents might still talk about. Film cameras captured life's precious moments long before digital devices took over. These cameras used rolls of film that required careful handling and professional development. Photographers had to plan each shot, as film rolls had limited exposures. Every click mattered, which added thoughtfulness to photography. Families used film cameras to document holidays, birthdays, and family outings. Professionals relied on them to create iconic images that defined history. They had a unique charm, producing photos with a grainy texture that digital cameras struggled to replicate. The rise of digital cameras changed everything. With unlimited storage and instant results, they replaced the need for film. While enthusiasts still use film cameras, most have become collector's items. They remind us of a time when photography demanded patience and skill. Slide projectors turned memories into larger-than-life visuals. Popular devices displayed photographic slides on walls or screens in homes and classrooms. Families loved using them to showcase vacation photos or special occasions during gatherings.
The light looks a lot brighter now. To actually see the image that's being projected, we have to go to...
Teachers used slide projectors in schools to make lessons more interactive and visual. They were simple to operate and widely available, making them a presentation staple. Watching a slideshow was a shared experience that brought people together. However, digital projectors and laptops replaced them with higher quality and convenience. Slide projectors couldn't compete with the versatility of modern technology. Today, they're rarely seen outside of vintage collections. They remain a nostalgic nod to an era when sharing memories required just a little extra effort. What came before computers for writing documents? The next gadget was the go-to tool for authors and offices alike. Typewriters were once the backbone of written communication. These mechanical devices allowed users to produce neat and uniform text on paper. They were essential for letters, reports, and manuscripts from offices to homes. Writers found them indispensable for their precision and reliability. Every keystroke pressed ink onto paper, creating a permanent record. Mistakes required correction tape or starting over, making accuracy critical. Despite the effort, clacking keys became familiar and comforting in many settings. With the invention of computers and word processors, typewriters gradually disappeared. Computers offered editing, spell check, and endless storage, rendering typewriters obsolete. For those who grew up with them, they remain a symbol of persistence and creativity. The original mobile communication devices were CB radios or citizen band radios. Popular in the 1970s, they allowed people to stay connected over short distances. Truckers used them to share road conditions, while hobbyists enjoyed chatting with strangers.
So what you do is on the back of the radio, there is a spot that says specifically.
These radios were simple to operate and didn't require a license for use. They had their slang like 10-4 for acknowledgement, adding a fun element to communication. CB radios were especially helpful in emergencies, offering a quick way to call for assistance. Over time, cell phones and GPS replaced CB radios for most users. They offered a better range and more advanced features. While still used by some truckers and enthusiasts, CB radios are now niche gadgets from a bygone era of communication. Car cigarette lighters were once a standard feature in vehicles. Designed to heat up and light cigarettes, they doubled as power outlets for small devices. Drivers mostly used them for quick convenience during long road trips. These lighters had a simple design. You push a button, wait for it to heat up, and then use it to light your cigarette. Smoking while driving was common in the 1960s and 70s, and these lighters became a staple of car interiors. As smoking declined and USB chargers gained popularity, cigarette lighters fell out of favor. Modern cars rarely include them, focusing instead on safer and more practical accessories. Today, they're a relic of an era when smoking was simply part of everyday life. For decades, pinball machines were the heartbeat of arcades. These mechanical marvels offered fast-paced, skill-based gameplay. Players used flippers to keep a metal ball in play, aiming for targets to rack up high scores. Pinball machines were everywhere in the 1970s and 80s, from diners to shopping malls. Their flashing lights, sound effects, and physical design made them irresistible.
For somebody looking to get into one for their home game room, or to add to your collection.
They challenged players to master timing and precision, making every game an exciting experience. With the rise of video games, pinball machines began to decline. Gamers turned to consoles and digital arcades for a wider variety of experiences. While still loved by collectors and enthusiasts, pinball machines are no longer a common sight. They remain a nostalgic reminder of arcade culture's golden era. Have you ever watched TV on the go? The next gadget brought live entertainment into people's hands for the very first time. The Sony Watchman was a revolutionary concept in the world of portable entertainment. It allowed people to watch TV on the go, turning the once stationary experience into something personal. The compact design and built-in antenna made it easy to tune in anywhere. Though its small black and white screen was a far cry from today's technology. In the 1970s, portable TVs began to catch on, allowing you to watch your favorite shows during long trips or outdoor activities. They brought the television experience into places it had never been, on planes, trains, and even camping trips. While they weren't perfect, these early models showed people what portable media could be. As technology progressed, more powerful devices eventually replaced them. But these early portable TVs marked the first steps toward the mobile entertainment we have today. Reel-to-reel tape recorders dominated audio recording for decades. These machines offered superior sound quality, making them favorites for studios and serious audiophiles. Large spools of magnetic tape captured music, voice, and other audio with clarity that was simply unmatched at the time. They were versatile tools in broadcasting, music production, and even personal home recordings. Adjusting tape speed allowed for creative audio effects, making them vital to early sound engineering. Their bulky size and complex operation limited their mainstream appeal. The arrival of compact cassettes and digital formats signaled their decline. Though now a niche collector's item, reel-to-reel recorders are cherished by enthusiasts who value their rich analog sound. Remember that when recording important notes, it meant carrying a bulky device. The next gadget completely changed how we captured memories on the go. Pocket-sized recorders were popular in the 1970s, allowing people to record conversations, interviews, or personal notes. These compact devices, often using cassette tapes, made capturing audio in a portable format easy. Brands like Sony and Panasonic led the market with handheld models that offered convenience and decent sound quality. These recorders were game changers for professionals, especially in journalism and education, where recording lectures or interviews are common. They gave users the freedom to record without needing bulky equipment. Pocket-sized recorders were once common gadgets, but they're no longer used today. These devices have become obsolete with the rise of smartphones, digital voice recorders, and other advanced technologies. They've been replaced by more efficient, compact alternatives that offer better quality, storage, and convenience. Now, pocket-sized recorders are relics of a time when recording audio required more effort and had limited functionality. Betamax arrived in 1975, offering a groundbreaking way to watch and record shows at home. Developed by Sony, it introduced superior video and audio quality compared to other formats. Its compact, sturdy cassettes were easy to handle, making it user-friendly for families. The ability to record TV shows and rewatch them later felt revolutionary. Betamax also appealed to tech lovers with its high-end performance and durable build.
Vintage high-quality items, especially by Sony. They built some really good stuff. Back in those days, their name was built on quality, so...
It quickly gained a loyal following among early adopters. However, its competitor, VHS, offered longer recording times and a lower price, which drew more attention from consumers. The tipping point came when movie studios favored VHS, giving it a larger library of titles. Betamax couldn't compete despite its technological edge and faded from the mainstream. It now stands as an example of how market dynamics can outpace innovation. The Laserdisc player promised a cinema-like experience at home. It was introduced in the late 1970s and used large discs to deliver high-quality video and audio. It was among the first devices to bring video playback into homes, offering better picture quality than VHS tapes. Each disc stored an entire movie and featured crisp visuals, which amazed early adopters. The Laserdisc player appealed to collectors and film enthusiasts who valued top-notch viewing experiences. Some models even allowed users to pause or skip scenes, a novelty for its time.
Moving on to the rear panel, there are two composite video and stereo audio connections for connecting it to two systems. There are two S-video connections as well.
However, the discs were large, fragile, and expensive compared to VHS tapes. As DVDs arrived, facilitating compact design and greater storage, Laserdiscs lost their appeal. Though short-lived, the Laserdisc player laid the groundwork for modern digital media formats. The transistor radio brought music and news to people's pockets. First popular in the 1950s, these portable devices became household items in the 1970s. Their lightweight design and affordability made them accessible to teenagers and grandparents. Powered by small batteries, transistor radios could be taken anywhere, on a hike, to the beach, or even to work. They were especially loved for their ability to tune into live broadcast, whether for breaking news or the latest hits.
Maybe your great-grandmother would have carried around. This reminds me of football, actually. If you live in a split-level house, this is the radio for you.
Over time, newer technologies such as cassette players, Walkmans, and smartphones took over. These devices offered more features, pushing the humble transistor radio into the background. Today, tuning the dial brings back memories of when the world was closer. The Wang calculator transformed office work in the 1970s. Built by Wang Laboratories, it was one of the earliest desktop calculators designed for businesses. It simplified complex calculations, saving time and reducing errors for accounting, engineering, and science professionals. These calculators were bulky by today's standards, but revolutionary at the time. Their ability to handle advanced functions made them invaluable tools.
The calculations are being done in the display register, and that's why you see the flickering. You're seeing the calculation in action.
Businesses invested heavily in them, seeing them as productivity boosters in an era of manual ledgers and slide rules. As smaller, cheaper calculators became widely available, the Wang calculator fell out of favor. By the 1980s, compact devices and personal computers had replaced it. Though obsolete, the Wang calculator is remembered as a milestone in business technology.